Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine a temple lit by hundreds of oil lamps. The air is perfumed with sandalwood. The sound of a distant flute carries through the corridors. And the walls are carved with sacred scenes, where the divine and the human merge in acts of union. This is not just art, it is revelation. It is the language of the Vedas and the Kama Shastra, the erotic mysticism of India's ancient soul. In the West, desire has been called sin, the body has been feared, and pleasure has been mistrusted. But in the ancient wisdom of Red Tantra, desire was not rejected, it was exalted. Pleasure was not condemned, it was sanctified. And the body was not seen as a prison, it was revered as a doorway to the infinite. The Vedas spoke of creation as a cosmic act of love. They declared that the universe was born not from violence, but from the embrace of opposites, from the ecstatic play of masculine and feminine, Shiva and Shakti, Purusha and Prakriti. The erotic was not separate from the divine, it was its highest expression. And then came the Kama Shastra. Not merely a manual of positions, as the modern world has reduced it, but a mystical text teaching that every act of intimacy is a ritual, every kiss a mantra, every union a merging of heaven and earth. The sages who gave us these teachings knew a secret. The energy released in conscious eroticism can open doors no temple priest could guard, no philosophy could contain. They saw the body as an altar, the breath as incense, and pleasure as a prayer. But let us ask a question together. When was the last time you truly felt your body as sacred? Not as something to be judged or hidden, not as a machine for survival, but as a temple alive with fire, longing, and grace. This is the first initiation of Red Tantra, to reclaim the body from the chains of shame, to kiss desire not as an enemy, but as a teacher. The Kama Shastra whispers, when two lovers meet with awareness, they cease to be just man and woman. They become cosmic forces, a mirror of Shiva and Shakti, the dance of eternity made flesh. To understand this is to see love not as lust, but as alchemy. Every touch becomes an invocation. Every gaze becomes a transmission. Every sigh becomes the echo of creation itself. The mysticism of the Vedas teaches us that eroticism is not outside of spirituality, it is its heartbeat. It is not a distraction from meditation, but another form of it. In the merging of two bodies, a deeper truth is revealed, that we were never separate, that longing itself is the proof of our divine origin. And yet, to walk this path requires courage. Because to enter erotic mysticism is not only to embrace pleasure, but to face your shadows. It asks you to confront jealousy, fear, possession, and the wounds of your past. It demands that you strip not only your clothes, but your masks. For the true Kama Shastra is not about techniques of seduction. It is about learning how to be naked in your soul, to meet another not as a fantasy, but as a mirror, to allow yourself to be seen in your rawness, your fragility, your power. This is why the sages spoke of union as liberation. Because in that sacred moment, when two dissolve into one, the boundaries of ego fade and something greater emerges. A silence, a light, a remembrance. Pause for a moment. Imagine yourself as both lover and beloved. Imagine your body as the altar, your breath as the prayer, your longing as the flame. This is the erotic mysticism of Red Tantra. To those who fear desire, it looks like indulgence. But to those who awaken, it is the highest path of devotion. Because nothing brings you closer to the divine than the courage to open fully, to love completely, to surrender without holding back. In this, Red Tantra is not separate from White Tantra or Black Tantra. It is the bridge that unites them. It is the path where the fire of passion becomes the fire of awakening. And so we begin to see the erotic not as something ordinary, but as the mystery that created the stars. The mystics of the Vedas understood that pleasure, when embraced consciously, becomes a vehicle of transcendence. They taught that the very energy that ignites passion is the same current that fuels meditation, vision, and revelation. This is why the Kama Shastra is not only a text of intimacy, it is a text of liberation. To study it is to study yourself, your desires, your attachments, and your fears. To practice it with awareness is to step into the fire where everything false is burned away. Imagine this: two lovers meeting not in haste, not in secrecy, but as priest and priestess within the temple of the body. Their union is not a collision, but a ceremony. Every movement is deliberate, every breath is prayer, every gaze is a mantra, silently spoken. In that space, bodies dissolve and only energy remains. Here, love becomes more than emotion. It becomes a state of being. Here, desire becomes more than sensation. It becomes remembrance of the cosmic embrace from which all life was born. Here, the human and the divine cease to be separate. They merge. And yet, this path is not easy. It demands discipline. It asks you to slow down in a world addicted to speed. It asks you to listen deeply in a world deafened by noise. It asks you to reveal yourself in a world obsessed with masks. But for those who dare, the reward is nothing less than awakening. For in the sacred fire of Red Tantra, shame is transmuted into devotion, lust is transmuted into creation, and longing is transmuted into freedom. The erotic mysticism of the Vedas and the Kama Shastra is not about indulgence. It is about initiation. It is about remembering that your body was never separate from your spirit, that every sensation is an echo of the divine, and that every act of love has the power to open the gates of eternity. Pause and feel this truth. Your body is not against you. Your desire is not a weakness. They are the sacred instruments through which the divine plays its song. And so Red Tantra calls you to reclaim your body, to honor your desire, and to walk into the temple of erotic mysticism without fear. For the Vedas declare creation itself was an act of love. For the Kama Shastra whispers, every embrace can be a mirror of the cosmos. And for Tantra, all is one: body, spirit, longing, and light. This is not merely philosophy. It is a path, a living practice, a fire that awaits your courage to step into it. The question remains: will you keep seeing desire as something to suppress? Or will you embrace it as the bridge to awakening? The choice is yours. Tantra is the bridge. Love is the fire. You are the temple. Subscribe now to Tao Tantra and walk with us through the path of sacred awakening.